Hello YouTubers, this is Jordan Blaikie Liver Flash Man with another one of my amazing recipes. This one is the Parasite Cleanse, Liver Flush Man's Parasite Cleanse Enema and Tea recipe here. It only uses a main 3 ingredients. There are a few other ingredients that you can use optionally, but I'll go through these ingredients and how to make this tea enema recipe. Here is the last of my tea recipe here for enemas and tea for drinking and enemas, and this is for the last, I would say, 3 or 4 days. I've been making this tea every day, and therefore recycling the lemons, ginger, wormwood. This is wormwood here, fresh wormwood. Garlic is a natural parasite cleanser. So we'll go through this recipe here and we'll add more ingredients and make the tea again. So first thing you want to do is add the filtered water, the purest, cleanest filtered water. This is filtered through my Niken PiMag water filtration system, the home unit. So we'll fill this right up there. Alright, beauty. And we'll turn it on to about minimum, like number 1 setting or number 2, or just to get it warmed up you could even put it like on, say, medium. And the idea is not to boil it, not to boil the water. That kills the higher nutritional value of the antioxidants, enzymes, and life force. So we're going to do our best to maintain and keep intact the vibration of the raw food. So we'll move over here and I'll show you these ingredients we got here, which are part of this Parasite Enema tea recipe here. Okay, so I'll tell you a little story about this. First of all, I've been doing parasite cleanses for a number of years on the raw food diet, and I never really did a full one. You know, they recommend 30 days and I would usually do, say, 10 or 12 days. And I kind of felt there was intuitively, you know, almost a fight, you could say, between the parasites in your body and your own body based off of the hunger and the cravings for sugar. Now those parasites live off of sugar, especially the white refined sugar. They love that stuff. It's like candy to them. And so you're feeding them that stuff and you get the craving to eat that. You're trying to do the parasite cleanse. You end up feeding them, and they, you know, who's stronger? Is your immune system of your body and your mind stronger, or will it wipe out the parasites? What will happen? Alright, so 30 days, I must say, if you do the normal parasite cleanse, like this is one of them, called Paragon, and it becomes with, there's the 1 and 2 that comes with both products together. I'll tell you what's in these, as well as the main 3 common ingredients for all parasite cleanse. Well, we go back to, you know, the 30-day parasite cleanse on one of these kinds of things like this. And that's going to kill a lot of the parasites, but not the eggs. Alright, just like hair lice or whatever, you got to do it, you know, 10 days after, and again maybe 2 to 3 weeks after, in order to kill the eggs. Otherwise they hatch and you got them again. So it's the same with the parasites in the body. A lot of them will hide out in the liver stones and gallstones. And also they will hide out in the bile ducts. They will also hide out in the intestines and attach themselves to the walls of the intestines, which is how they stay in the intestines. The bulk of the intestines are in the liver and the intestines, and although they're all throughout the body. Now the average person actually has pounds of parasites, if you can believe it, but that's the statistics on that. And so I can also show you the results I got on this parasite cleanse the first few days of doing it. I got out worms and other parasites, all kinds of stuff. And I do an enemas on a regular basis, and I always check to see what I get out and stuff. I'm very intuitive to know the research and look every time and check it out. And I don't hardly ever get big worms like at the levels that I got when I did the garlic, you know, the garlic in the enema the first time. And I'll show you the results of that now before we actually do the parasite cleanse. That way you'll have a better idea of what can come out. Now, Before I did this parasite cleanse, I was doing enemas for roughly 2 or 3 per day for 2 weeks. Alright? And I checked through it. I got 1 worm out, and it was different than these ones. And it's that I seen, anyways. That I seen. Now these ones here, let me get the light on it here from underneath or on top, so you can see this better. All right, let's see how close we can get here with the best quality still. See underneath. Well, if you look at them there, they got all little white kind of. It's hard to see in the camera here, I think for you guys. But like, look at that one in the middle, just where my middle finger is almost touching, right there in the middle, and all those ones that you see, they all have little worms coming out of. That's the candida there, that white stuff. So when you're doing enemas and you see all that white stuff, that is candida. All right, so what I found is these worms were hiding in the candida, trying to get away from the poison, toxic, anti-parasitic properties of the garlic. All right, and garlic, if you look in folklore, is connected to vampires and warding off evil and all that. And parasites are considered, in a way, parasites. So they're eating off of you as the host, and they're feeding off of you, and they're using your resources of nutrients and stuff. So there's one big worm there, as you can see if you look through it there. There's a couple of bigger ones. This one over here, if you look over at this big piece, this green piece over there, the parasite comes out one side and out the other side. So it's a big, huge one there. And anyways, there's dozens of them in here, and a lot of them are hiding. And I wanted to show that, how they hide, like this one over here, how it hides in the candida in order to keep the toxic poisons away from it ingesting it, so it can survive through it. Now generally what I find also is when I'm doing these parasite cleanses with the enemas and the teas, is you can feel, intuitively, you can feel the fight that goes on between these parasites in your body and your immune system. So when you do these enemas, they're a lot harder than normal enemas, because your body is, your intestines are also reacting to this really highly strong medicine. So you're going to tend to want to release it a lot faster and hold it not as long as you normally could. Alright, so we'll go through these ingredients. Now, the typical 3 main ingredients for all parasite cleanses include these ingredients. Now, my recipe includes them, but from, not pure on their own form. So what it is wormwood, black walnut, and cloves. Alright? Now the tinctures are usually the most powerful because they're concentrated, and you can just have them in a glass of water, and that way you can be kind of fasting as well as you do the parasite cleanse. That way your body's not getting a lot of food, so that means it's not feeding the parasites, and they're starving too. So who's stronger, you, your body, and your immune system, or these worms? And that's the test. How many parasites will you get out is based on how strong your mind is, and how strong your discipline and constitution and the way of thinking about all this. So it's a little bit of a race to see who's going to survive the onslaught of all this stuff. So I mean, of course you won't die, but survive is the point. I mean, maybe who's going to win out? Are you going to succumb to releasing these enemas too quickly because it's too powerful and you can't handle it, and then therefore way more of the parasites live through your parasite cleanse, and you do less of what you were hoping to do, which was whack out a good portion of the parasites in your body? So yeah, it really depends. Alright, so this is wormwood here, and I'll tell you the story about this wormwood here. Alright, I've known about wormwood for many years, and I also looked at making that product abstinence. I think it's pronounced like that. It has to do with making basically an alcoholic tincture kind of thing of the wormwood, and it gives you altered state consciousness. Alright, but so anyways, this wormwood, I was off to the store to go buy some, and I have very little money and resources, and I thought, okay, I got enough. I got maybe $5 to go buy some wormwood, and then I can use it for this parasite cleanse. Well, on the way there, I live outside of the city, and I was going towards my favorite store, South Heel, which has all the herbs of all kinds, hundreds of different herbs, organic and wildcrafted and stuff. And so I was on my way to purchase some wormwood, and of course I'm a raw food guy, so I rather have it fresh like this rather than buy it dried. And then I thought, just as I was walking towards town, I thought, hey, there's a closer kind of little herb health food shop in Cook Street Village where I live, just up the street a little bit. I hardly ever go to it, and I thought, hey, maybe they got some. I'm trying to conserve energy here. I'm on the fast. I'm going for a 40-day fast with no water or food, and I'm building up to it. I thought, hey, let's conserve some energy. Let's go over to that little Cook Street Village one, see if they got the wormwood. And on my way there, I thought to myself, hey, maybe I'll even see some. I know what it looks like. Sometimes people have it growing in their front yard or on the side, or so I kept my eye out. Within 1 block I found this giant wormwood plant, a big giant one with this wormwood right here. And I mean, I only had 6 blocks to walk to get to the little shop I'm talking about, the health food store, and within the first block I found this huge giant one. So that goes to show you more about the synchronicities of the things you're doing, the things you're creating in your life, and how the opportunities and things just come to you. And it's more closer to resonance with the 5th dimension, where your thoughts create the reality instantly. So whatever you think manifests. Now we're at varying degrees of that synchronicity as a collective. So to tap in more and more to those synchronicities and those universal truths of how the mind creates the experience. Alright, so this garlic here is organic, and garlic is also known as the parasite cleanse. And if you look at the name wormwood, alright, wormwood, it's got the name worm in it. It's connected to, especially worms do not like wormwood, especially. So that's why if you look at that parasite results that you saw in this little thing here, you saw all those little worms there. That was connected to the wormwood and the garlic here. And so these are good. Now, out of the 3 main ingredients that are always used in almost every single parasite cleanse is the wormwood, but also the black walnut and cloves. Alright, now those all have very anti-parasitic properties. As does ginger to some extent. We're also going to put ginger in. It helps it taste better if you're drinking it. As far as enemas go, you don't have to worry about the taste so much. You worry about the strength of the medicine, because you don't taste it when you do enemas. And enemas are 6 to 10 times more directly bioavailable, means absorbable into your body and into your bloodstream, rather than orally ingesting things. So it's much, much more powerful. So that's where a lot of the the worms and parasites are located, in the intestines anyway. And anywhere they are, anywhere else in the body, by doing enemas, you are absorbing those nutrients or poisons to the parasites, and therefore your intestine soaks up this medicine and distributes it through your blood to all your various organs and tissues, which get rid of those parasites. So that's why these enemas are so powerful, because not only directly those parasites in the intestines, they can't handle this, they just die, but the goal is to hold these enemas longer and hold out long enough that these parasites don't just get a strong whack and then they live through it. They get disoriented and they feel sick, but then if you start feeding them again, then they could come back too, and they can start getting healthy again, and they can survive it. So the idea of a parasite is to wipe them out, a good chunk of them at least, So here we got the garlic here now chopped up. There is the wormwood. So those are the 2 main ingredients, and then we're going to put in the ginger as well. Now I have been putting in lemon as well. That's more for the tea, just like the ginger aspect of it. although they're both good for parasite cleansing too. But the garlic and wormwood is way more effective as a parasite cleanse. The ginger and the lemon I just use more for taste, for the drinking aspect of the tea. Now some other things I'm going to put in, I like to put in for the enema as well, I like to put in, and that could be separate than the soup part that I make here, is you just add a bunch of high quality cayenne pepper to boost up the heat inside there and to burn them parasites out of there, right? Just more medicine that causes them to die even faster, right? Then I put in these two products here. Now this one is a tincture. It's Paragon, all right, Paragon 2, and I've had a number of these different parasite cleanses on the market, and they're really good. And like I said, they all contain the main 3 ingredients: black walnut, cloves, and wormwood. And then there's 2 other ingredients in this one: orange peel and marshmallow root. But besides that, it has the main 3. And then also here on the Paragon 1, this one is a capsule one, in a veggie capsule. So I put about, in the tea, I put in about 6 of these capsules, and that and then that really in the little, for the enema there. And this one's got wormwood, it's got cloves, garlic as well, thyme leaf, quassia wood, and papil seed. So got a couple others, but again the main bulk of the wormwood, garlic, and stuff. Alright, so anyway, so here we go. We're good to go on that. Now we're going to come over here and we're just going to dump all this in, and then we're going to let it seep for a while here. So the wormwood goes in, little blessing to get those worms out again. More results on the worms. The amazing garlic, connected to keeping evil away, vampires, all the werewolves, alright, that kind of energy connected to these parasites that are feeding off the body. And then I kind of do got one more other ingredient that I also put in here, which I am going to show. It would be up to you to make it yourself. Alright, it's a blood purification herbs. There's 21 of them. I've talked about them before in other videos. I'll go through it again. Alright, but as far as the tincture goes here, I put in 6 drops in here, so this all goes together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again, when I make my little enema, which I could show as this video too, I'll teach you taking this enema and how it's different than taking normal enemas with the parasite cleanse aspect of it. As I said, it's harder to hold these enemas. Can be, at least, because it's more potent medicine. Your intestines will probably react to it to some extent. Now 6 of these, this is that wormwood, black walnut, cloves, and the other 2 ingredients. What was it? Oh yeah, this one had the garlic and the quassia, the good stuff. So this is going to also make the medicine stronger, so that they're not going to be able to survive. Now if you can hold these enemas for really long and work through the pain of just wanting to, you know, just release it and say, okay, that's good enough, I did as much as I could, that's the best I could do, kind of thing, then that's when you're going to see really good results, you know. And maybe not just the first time, because they get a big shot of anti-parasitic, you know, medicine that those parasites are trying to make it through, and a lot of them are pretty strong, those parasites too, so they don't just die from the first one. You got to keep doing it every day, and also not feeding them a lot of sugars and stuff like that. Now you may need sugars too, because it's connected to, you know, the ratio of those parasites and how they've been symbiotically living with you. So you may have those cravings for sugars, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, because you receive those sugars faster than the parasites do. And your body may need some of those sugars, such as like from maple syrup or honey. like if you're doing the master cleanse, you're getting the maple syrup, and but that's why I'm choosing not even to do the master cleanse this time. This time is even more of a dry fast where there's no water either. So these enemas here that's still considered, you know, bringing water into your body. So I'm not at the dry fast stage yet. Although I haven't had any liquids today yet, and it's just around the evening now. So I've had no food or water today yet. Now this enema will be my first water, because if you hold an enema for a while, you will actually urinate like later, because it absorbs into your intestines, and so therefore it was like you just drank. So it's like I'm drinking all of this stuff, especially the longer you hold it in. So if you want to hold it in longer, you know, don't take a huge amount that you can't hold in. Just take in a nice amount, do a headstand inversion, and then hold that, and then you might want to put some more in, but keep it coming in. So we'll let this sit here, and then we'll come back here and we'll prepare the enema, and I'll take you on the enema journey of this parasite cleanse, and we'll see the final results on this. But yeah, you never know what to expect. Lots of parasites, no parasites, whatever it is. Alright, thanks for watching so far. We'll see you in a little bit. Alright, and ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We're back to the tea here. It's been steeping for about half an hour now, so the color of the right here of the wormwood is now really dark green, as before you could see the old stuff was dark green like this and the new stuff was much fresher green. So this would be the point where also some of those antioxidants and enzymes are lost. But you know, making teas and enemas like this, it's a different thing. That's why in a way even dried herbs are still really good for making teas, because they don't contain those other nutrients, but they still have the bulk of the lower nutritional value and their properties as well. So it's also very good. So that's about perfect with that now. So we'll move on to the next part. And finally, also I did mention previous that I was going to show you the recipe, or talk a little bit more about the blood purification herbs that I put in there as you were watching the video here. And those blood purification herbs for these ones here. Now this blood purification herbs was designed by Dr. David Jubb. Alright, this is David Jubb's blood purification formula. Right, so we got goes by parts here. So we got 3 parts red clover, 2 parts burdock root, 2 parts Paul Darko, 2 parts anise, 1 part chaparral, 1 part Oregon grape, 1 part red root, 1 part blood root, 1 part prickly ash, 1 part cat's claw, 1 part pipsiswea, if I pronounced that right, I'm not sure, 1 part serapella, 1 part licorice, 1 part horsehound, 1 part blue flag, 1 part blackthorn, cascada sagrada, kelp, poke root, cordyceps, and genoderma. I'm not sure about the last one there. 1/4 part, so half part poke root, 1/4 cordyceps. Now cordyceps is a mushroom, and this mushroom is even weakly hallucinogenic. It's very expensive. Per even 1 gram is like maybe $100, or it goes an ounce or whatever. It's, you know, it's the more expensive of the herbs of this. So that's the 1/4 part as well. And that's that mushroom grows off a caterpillar at the end of a caterpillar, and eventually you know, controls the brain of the caterpillar and tells it where to go in order for it to get its nutrients. And then when the caterpillar gets old, it goes somewhere where it could keep going, reproducing and stuff. So very awesome. But that's David Jubb purification herb formula right there. And we put those in there, so we're ready to go on to the next phase of the video here. See you in a bit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with the this is about another half an hour later here. So now this is totally seeped and it's just on minimum on 1 here. So we're perfect temperature there. Now it's not too hot. We're going to put it in this glass container here. Not just one word of advice as well on doing these glass containers is to use, if you take it just directly out of the tea like this and you don't let it cool a bit, which I recommend, because if we're using the enema with it, then you use this hot water to bring it up to lukewarm above room temperature or around room temperature. If you're adding fresh cold filtered water, then this will bring it up to room temperature or above if you want it, depending on if you want a little warmer or colder. So with these glass jars, of course, you don't want to just put in that really hot water there. So we'll add, I just got the fresh filtered water from the Nikan Pi Mag water filtration system again. So there is the nice fresh water. And now to add the tea, what I like to do as well is just have a little glass pitcher here, and you can scoop up the most stuff with the clear, and then use your strainer. This is stainless steel, fits right on there. That's what I really like about this and these pickle jar 4 liters. And just pour it in this beautiful filtered tea water. That can be used even as homeopathy for parasite cleanse, for long-term parasite cleansing. Just you know, add some of this to your morning, evening, and morning, afternoon, evening teas. Right, do some special tonic teas for the blood purification, and get the respiratory system back healthy, or stay healthy. And so now I'll even just check the temperature of this. This is the Enema bucket right here. It's a homemade one just from a glass pickle jar or any equivalent 4 liter. Alright, now it's a bit still too warm, so I'll add some more of the filtered water. Get that going here. And if you can, it is important to filter your water for drinking and enemas, and as well, if you can, for bathing in as well. Get a special filter for that, and that is really going to help make a difference in the amount of fluoride going into your body and other heavy metals, especially fluoride, which is calcifying the endocrine glands at large. Okay, so there we go. And we'll add the rest. The nice filtered water should be about perfect temperature there. I got good intuition. Positive affirmations. Give it a stir. Alright, and I'm happy with that. So we'll move this on into the bathroom, and I'll get started on the enema aspect of it. One more little tip here as well before we go is while you're doing these enemas, these parasite enemas and stuff, to advance enema killing, which can killing on the spot with the enema, you can eliminate them with just like many, which could take even 15 days to kill that many parasites, which an enema can do with these powerful herbs. So, but at the same time, you know, this one recommends 1 ml twice a day. This is 0.75. That's 0.75, so then we do a bit more again. There's another 0.25, so we're 1 ml right there. And that's a nice good amount to go internally as well, and that's why also be drinking the tea. And I can put some tea in here as well. This is very potent stuff, and it's best to dilute it a little bit unless you have a really strong body and mind. and then continue drinking, and the teas, this tea as well as the parasite tincture that comes with most parasite cleanses. And then if you take it orally, it'll go through your small intestines, whereas if you, I'm going to teach you with the enemas here how to do advanced enemas, so you can get this parasite cleanse drink all the way up past your sequel valve, which connects your large to your small intestines. And your small intestine is very, very long, and getting it up there takes advanced techniques. Otherwise, those parasites potentially, you know, could be unharmed by this whole process. So taking it internally, as well as doing advanced enemas with special inversion techniques and massaging techniques to really get the parasites in the small intestines, in the beginning part of the small intestines, where the duodenum meets the small intestines for a couple feet. So supercharge it, deactivate parasites in the body. And for others to also embody to eliminate parasites. As well as the whole collective of the whole human race to deactivate their parasites as well. Alright, so there we go. We'll move into the bathroom, move on to the next part. Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you, we're in the bathroom here. This is all seaweed at the top there, hanging here on the towel. I live near the ocean, so I dry my seaweed, the kelp, use it for minerals, powdered for my salad dressings. This here is a 4-gallon water container, also called a carboy, used in winemaking. This piece here is also used in winemaking. I'll show you this. This is made out of acrylic. You can potentially get a glass one just like this glass, but these are readily available at all winemaking places. They have a little sediment filter thing here as well, which is nice. It fits in there perfect, and then the stem, it ends right here. Now I got another tube. Right here that connects here, then another one here. Now we'll be showing a video exactly on how to make this. Now this is not an enema, this is a homemade colonic system here. Alright, here's a little tip from an enema bulb right here. Then I drilled 3 holes in it. And if you look at the flow that comes out of this, it's a great amount of flow. So this is a great 4-gallon colonic system right here, natural system. And so when you see the video up there, the link will be at the top, and that'll be how to make this. But we're going to keep moving on, and this is all parasite cleanse in here from I've been brewing the last few days. So this is going to be a major parasite cleanse colonic here. Alright, and then we move over here, and now we're into my little system on how to make these homemade enemas, just like that homemade colonic. Alright, the video will have each here. So this video will be flashed at the top of the screen here as well, the link to making your homemade enema out of a pickle jar. That one's a carboy from winemaking or water. And so basically this is my little system here, and this can do 128 ounces, alright? Now this has already been, this is the same one that we made, parasite cleanse, right here. And I'm going to add the one more ingredient I talked about, was the cayenne pepper as an optional for really putting the heat in there and putting the heat on the bugs. The heat is on the bugs. You know, they don't, this cayenne is a parasite cleanse in and of itself as well, for putting on salads and soups. Alright, so lastly, you can just stir it with the finger here and it'll all settle in. Go in there, supercharged. Alright, great now. So I just put the lid on here. That's the lid of the actual pickle jar with a hole in it. And then this tube here, that's the only ingredients there are. There's the jar, and then this tube here, which is actually from the from the disposable enema bags that you can get at pharmacies, and then you just cut off the bag and put that end in there and use the siphon principle. I actually could show you that as well. So you put this on end under the sink, and then it comes out there, you turn it on and the water goes through, then you close the pin, then the water stops flowing, and then that way, as long as you're down below, down there, as you can see, I'll show you now the angle to do the enema here. You're in this position right here. Yeah, right about there. Okay, so you can see down here now it stopped flowing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready to do this enema here, and I'm going to coach you through it, how it works here. So first of all, I want you to see here what I tend to do is put a nice glass jar down here with a little on the lid. Here on the lid that it has a little side here. That way, if the clip isn't working or it's getting more, you've used it, it's getting older, some water could drip and make a bit of a mess. Otherwise, if you just put it in here at the end, and then you can even lift it up and put it above here, because anything up here will not leak anything, because it's only if gravity is down here. So there's a couple options, but really you want to put this away right away, have it in the container, and then you're going to do your inversions and breathing and stomach pumps right away. You don't want a lot of time between there, because otherwise you'll just make the run for the toilet, right, if you have too much things you got to think about. So here I have the two pillows, alright, and each one works for different things. Sometimes if I don't want too big of a slope, I just use one pillow. So I'll place the pillow down there and have one right to the side handy as well. So let me just show you there. We got the pillow. So that what this does is this gives you the proper angle, so that when you're here and you're lying down like this, you're at least now more like level, because of the way the body works, and how this is wider than your hips here. So if you have two pillows, then there's a really nice angle of gravity, and I'll tell you about how this works and why the idea is to take the enema on your right side while in a slanted position, leaning forward with an angle. Because, okay, so your intestines, up here from your esophagus, it enters the duodenum, the first part of the small intestines, and it goes all around in the small intestines. Then it comes up here. This is up here to the transverse colon, which comes over here, and then dumps down the main, most acidic part, usually, of the intestinal tract, the large intestine, and the bottom portion of the colon, which goes into, which goes out the body through the rectum. So what I'm saying is that part is on the left side. So if then the transverse colon comes this way to the right, and then down here, and then the small intestines goes all around in there. So what I connected in before about getting the small intestines, which means the liquid has to go up the large intestines, across the transverse colon, down the descending transverse colon, and into the small intestines, where there's an actual valve called the sequel valve, which connects the large and small intestines, which opens and closes when it needs. Now it closes to keep out the two separate bacteria and parasites and all that as well, so that the systems are running healthy. So in order to get past the sequel valve, we have to do inversions upside down, either on the floor or against the door like this. So to give you an idea, is you put your hands down. All right, let me show you from this angle here. You put your hands down like this in a triangle. Put your hands together, put your head down, and then you just jump up a little bit, or push your way up. Go slow at first and have a door there, but I'm just showing you the potentials here. I'm not leaning on anything. I can come down easy like this, nice and gently, Come down, then you're going to want to go into child's pose like this with your hands back and move your head from either side to either side and get up and continue on. Then you'll come over and do some belly pumps and belly rolls like this belly roll. So that's going this way and then the other way. Alright, a little bit to the sides and then breathing. I'm going to shake it all around, move it both ways. So there's a lot of that, right? So we'll get into that after we take a nice amount here. So far there is there's 128 ounces because it's completely full, so we'll see what we can get going here with this. Just check the angle, looking good. Yes, okay. Alright, so here we go. Here's the demonstration. We got 2 pillows here, so there's a nice good slope, which is ideal if you're wanting to take a lot like we're doing here, the whole thing we're planning to take. So excuse the view here if you can see anything over there, but this is I've had a lot of a lot of comments saying that a lot of guys have really appreciated these enema videos, so thanks to them I continue to keep making the videos. I'm always doing my own enemas, but to put it on video and share it, it's a real joy when I get great responses from people, especially guys that are just getting into it. So here we go. We just unlock the clip there. Boom, here comes the liquid. Now it's starting to enter here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start breathing, and I'm going to talk a bit less because I got to focus on releasing and letting go and, dissolving. So if you can see, I don't know if it's in the video there, but the fluid level is slowly going down here, a millimeter every second or more, a couple millimeters a second. And so here you're going to want to be lifting up on your perineum muscle, which is located between the anus and genitals. And between there, the perineum muscle, you want to lift up on that, bringing up the earth energy, right? The earth energy into the body. And I often do this for reassurance and security. I place my left hand over the perineum muscle and my right hand in this position as if you're going to hold your head right over the top of your crown, supporting it as well. And now you're fully supported by the universal flow. Your left hand, up on your perineum, and your right hand on the top of your crown chakra. So you have all your chakras aligned in your body. And with this parasite cleanse, this will help you to have a stronger mind to get through taking larger parasite enemas, which are the most powerful enemas that are natural and that get rid of parasites more than any other enema. All enemas get rid of parasites. These special enema parasite cleanses are most powerful, as you saw the results of those worms I got out recently. Alright, so with that little talk, now I can stop it, unclip it there, and take it out even, put it in there, and now I'll just see how far we've gone. So this thing holds at 128, and we're about halfway now. So we've done about 60, say, so 8 ounces, less than half. We've done about 60 ounces, which is the normal enema buckets do hold 48 if you do the whole enema bucket. Okay, so that's why these are very similar to colonics, alright, because when you're holding the whole 128 ounces, this whole jar, and you're doing these special moves of you know, shaking things loose and inversions, then you know you're reaching some amazing places with this cleanse. Okay, so and if you have the pill like this, a nice big pill, you can put your arms there, and that way you got really nice padding. You got great padding, and it doesn't hurt your head, and you can relax more. And here you can move your belly around, and you know, either your feet could go all the way up, or you can arch your back and put your feet against the door, like nice down and low, like down here in this area, and some deep breathing. Alright, there was some good inversions, and then I'm going to do the inversions again in a little bit and show you another technique with the inversions. But you're still lifting up on the perineum muscle here. Alright, if you can hold it in an upright position too, that's good as well. Builds up the strength of the immune system in the intestines to build to flush out those bugs, you know, with its own intelligent immune system. Alright, and then so now here we're going to want to be doing some of those belly rolls and even just massaging here while we're holding it. And you can hear some gurgling, different things. So I'm going to release this one now and add some more fluid to this one here. And then we're going to take the whole thing next time, so we're building up here. Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm going to do the second round here. We did it around just over 60 ounces the first time, which is a nice amount to get the digestive tract open. The results of that so far were no parasites and almost nothing in there because I've been fasting. So a lot of that stuff is all out of my digestive tract, like food particles from eating and stuff like that. So as you can see, I'm putting more of this parasite cleanse, the nice strong concentrated stuff right directly in there, and this stuff is still warm too. So that's great. Stir it up here with the end of this, and yes, it's quite warm now. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit of this special parasite cleanse too that I've been brewing over the last few days here. I guess I'll just dump it right in this one as well. I will be doing the colonic with that here for the first time, the new homemade colonic system there. Alright, and there we go. Let's finish putting the rest of it in here. Full deal, the full 128 ounces. Now these little measuring cups do 2 cups, which is 16 ounces right there. So you could do the math. 16 times what would bring you to 128? Well, 10 would be 160. So it's less than 10 of these. Alright, we still got a little bit room to fill her right up to the top. And it'll be really neat if I could get this on video too, so you can see the whole 128 ounce goes in. Now, like I said, this Enema with the parasite cleanse is harder it's more advanced to hold in for longer, because as a parasite cleanse is very powerful, potent medicine. Most things don't kill the parasites. It's special ingredients with especially the wormwood and the garlic in this recipe. You can also, I would highly recommend doing the black walnut and cloves, which were not added in this recipe, but in future ones I would like to add those ones as well to pass on the knowledge. Right? And pretty much every time I do an enema, I basically always lubricate it with coconut oil near the tip like that. If you don't lubricate it like that, it can be a little bit tough getting in. It's not going to slide easy. Right? So there we go. We got it all lubed up on that. Ready to go here, folks. Alright, let's see if this whole 128 can go in. Even if I can't hold it a lot for a long time, it would be awesome to get it all in, because then what's so awesome about it is that then this stuff will have reached up in the small intestines due to pressure of so much liquid at one time. So if I turn this around here, yeah, okay, so here we go. Let's get this in a good position here. Okay, right about there, maybe even there. Okay. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get this ready. Place it down in there. It's all lubed up here, and get in the right direction. Okay. All right. Here we go, folks. It's the second one now. This same parasite cleanse. Now now I'm going to open the clamp here, and we're going to see it be going down. Alright, I got 2 pillows here. This is going to be good. Alright, and again, I'm going to hold the perineum and right above the crown as well again. Right, and this is where we're going to talk about how the parasite cleanse here, that it's important to kill the eggs too. So if you're doing this, you want to be doing the internal parasite cleanse throughout all the enema processes, and you want to continue on that, and once in a while give little breaks, but you want to mainly stay on it most of the time. Alright, so now we've gone down a little bit. You can see here how it slowly starts going down, and that's the direct amount that's going in there. So I'm just going to go internal and breathe and get this in here. may not get it all in this time in one shot. I'll release some of this one. Alright, and I'm back, and I had just released some of that, not all of it, but some of it had to go. I held it for a little while, did some more belly pump massage stuff. Now we're going to fill up the rest of it again and bring it back up to the top. Go. So now we're back to 128 ounces, so the goal was to get it all in there again. Like I say, the parasite cleanse is much harder to do larger enemas, especially the stronger the mixture is. But I'll do my best this time to get all 128 ounces. We'll see what we can do here. A lot of other enemas that I do that don't have parasite cleanse, garlic and wormwood, I could typically easily do the whole 128 a lot of the time that I attempt it. Alright, so this will be a challenge to see if I can do it the whole 128 parasite cleanse. Strong herbs in there. Alright. Alright, there she goes. See it going down in here now. Break on this one. There's a lot of strong, powerful parasite cleanse going in there. It's very powerful stuff. Alright, so we didn't make all of it again this time, but we're going to keep trying as we dilute it a little bit each time with the other parasite cleanse. So there we did quite a bit there. Don't know exactly how much. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here. This is the next day now. Alright, this is the next day. I held it for a while and got out some different stuff in there. It looked like some parasites and stuff of different kinds. There's all kinds of parasites too. Some are microscopic, some are just barely you can see and they're stuck in all the other stuff. And then there's other stuff too that's even like all really clear, like a clear kind of worm parasite, which you can't even really see unless you look really close. So you're getting all that stuff out, but in any case, I just made another tea with the wormwood and garlic and all the other ingredients with the parasite cleanses. And we're full up to 128 ounces here. So let's just do this, lubricate it up here. And yeah, it was quite tough actually. It was quite difficult to get in the whole 128 last time. As you saw, the first time I got about half. Second time a little more than half. Now I'm finding that's kind of typical with the parasite cleanse enemas, is that they're harder to hold in longer. But yeah, it all depends on the strength of your mind and your previous experience with it. But let's see what we can do this time. Also, I'm making it very, very strong too, so the stronger you make it, also the harder it is to hold longer. So here we go. We'll film this last one, and the goal will be able to get this whole 128 ounces in there. Alright, so same thing. I got two pillows here. I got the two pillows, and I just position them on a little angle to the right here, pointed to the right. And one other thing there, it's nice to have the little glass to put your enema thing in, but you know, we'll do it without it this time. It's nice to have. Alright, so here we go. Alright. You can watch up here as well and watch the fluid go down. I'll do my very best here. I'll breathe. I'm not going to talk, but the thing is to get all that in this time. about, say, right there, so we're almost 3/4 this time. Let me get up into the handstand here quickly before I gotta release. Actually I gotta release now. I waited too long. Alright. Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So that one was 3/4, so we've done 3 of them now. The first 2 was about just below half. The second one was just over half, maybe 3/4. So we'll see if this one is almost the full 128. If I do even 100 and get the handstands going, that'll be great. So I'll do whatever I can. I'll get in the handstand right away. Now that's sort of a technique so that you don't release it. When you go in the handstand, the headstand pose, then there's no pressure trying to release down. If you're against gravity standing up or sitting, it tends to really want to go out. So again, here we go, get a little bit of lubrication here. It's always a really good idea. And this also weighs down the top of the lid there. Okay, and this time I also got a little glass container as well. So we're styling. Got everything here. Alright, so now get this going here. Again, I'm not going to really talk again this time. I'm just going to focus on getting this all in there this time, or as much as possible. Alright. So, there we go. There it goes. Alright. We're in. say that's pretty close to the whole thing, but I'm not going to look. First thing I'm going to do is get up in that handstand. You don't want to waste any time. Okay, get up there. Take what you can. Get up there. Alright, that got it moving around pretty good. Could we see where we're at? Alright, just about a full 100 ounces, I would say. It's a pretty good one that time. Getting there, some belly rolls. Hear the swishing. Shake up those parasites. Alright, release now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, just one more reminder of the parasites I got out on the first few days here, well, 1 or 2 days near the beginning. Look at all the little worm type deals coming out of this whitish green candida. Alright, so get the light on there again. And you can see all the little worms coming out of the candida. One really big one there, a bunch of medium ones, and a bunch of small ones as well. Maybe kind of hard to see. I'll try to get a better angle of the light here. There you go, you see all those worms. It's the real deal, baby. Get rid of those parasites. Flush them down. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Try it for yourself. It's an awesome parasite enema recipe and tea. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Jordan Blaikie, the Liver Flush Man.